Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, witnesses were cross-examined in the second day of the murder trial of Jessica Williams, who is accused of killing her 3-year-old son, Maddox.
Maine State Police Lieutenant Colonel Brian Scott, Detective Jason Fowler, Major Crimes Unit Detective Nicholas Gleason, and Snowman's grocery owner Lisa Raymond took the stand this morning. They were all questioned about the incident and what they remembered. Scott says upon investigating the home, his team found blood in various areas of the house, including the chairs, a dried washcloth in the living room, the master bedroom, and 2 towels in front of the washer. Detective Fowler went into greater detail about which direction the blood likely traveled. Detective Gleason said Jessica Williams fled from the emergency room shortly after Maddox was pronounced dead. He says they searched throughout the Stockton Springs area and were unable to find her. He also read text messages aloud to the jury from Williams to various people involved in the incident. Witnesses will continue to take the stand throughout the week.
Well, the Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit and Evidence Team continues to investigate the deaths of an elderly couple in Orrington. State Police personnel remained on the premises throughout today. Friends and neighbors of the family came by to show their support, leaving flowers and visiting the home. Russell and Lewis Swanson, both 89, were found deceased by a family member Wednesday morning after residents believe they heard gunshots coming from the area. However, Maine State Police have not confirmed anything yet and will continue to look into that situation.
Augusta police have arrested a juvenile suspect in connection with a robbery at a local convenience store. Police say on September 27th, just after 10 p.m., they responded to a robbery at the Big Apple store on Stone Street. The alleged suspect had already fled when they arrived. Police say they apprehended a juvenile suspect during a vehicle stop. The robbery remains under investigation.
The founder of a company that wants to build a salmon farm off Bar Harbor is back in hot water. A Norwegian court has ordered the seizure of assets belonging to Mikhail Rones. He's the founder and financial partner of American Aqua Farms, which wants to build a controversial salmon farm in Frenchman Bay. According to the group Frenchman Bay United, Rones is facing charges accusing him of mishandling funds from wealthy Norwegian investors. He's now facing a lawsuit, and a judge ordered him to surrender close to $2 million in property to help those investors recover their money. The proposed salmon farm has been met with widespread opposition from those who fear what it could do to the local environment.
A Millinocket man is facing charges after police say he dropped illegal drugs in a local store. The East Millinocket Police Department says it received a call on Tuesday from a store employee who reported finding a bag of white powder. Police checked the store's security footage and say they watched as 40-year-old Ryan Boyington dropped the bag. They say it also recorded him returning to the store to search for it. Boyington was questioned and later arrested for unlawful trafficking in scheduled drugs. They say a search of Boyington at the police station also turned up what is believed to be more suspected heroin or fentanyl.
Well, Brewer High School had 2 separate school threats reported yesterday. The first threat was made shortly after students were let out of school Wednesday afternoon. An investigation from Brewer High School and Brewer Police was found that the threat was a hoax, and charges are pending on a potential suspect. Now, shortly after that, a separate threat was made against Brewer Community School, which was also found to be fake. A school resource officer and Brewer Police Department were on duty throughout the day and will be monitoring the situation as it unfolds.
And one Brewer student is charged following, or as part of that investigation conducted yesterday by Brewer Police and the school department. It involved a threat that made to the school department, as we just told you, which suggested a school shooting was going to take place. A joint investigation took place as well, which resulted in the identification of the student that was determined to be responsible for that threat. It was also determined a hoax. That student was charged with terrorizing, and the school will resume as usual.
Well, following last night's scoping session with NOAA officials, we caught up with a Stonington lobster woman who was there following that public hearing last night. Julie Eaton from Stonington said the fishermen filled the parking garage nearby the venue, and they came from every zone as a show of strength.
We were all just Maine fishermen coming together to fight for our industry, to fight for our coastal communities. And the power in that movement, in that moment, was just outstanding.
Says the common thread she heard was a combination of anger, frustration, and fear coming from her fellow lobstermen and women, that with them sharing their views on NOAA's push for additional measures to protect right whales, despite data that shows that Maine gear has never been blamed for a right whale death. Highly visible Maine politicians spoke there as well, but Eaton wonders if NOAA truly heard them. She said she believes the matter will end up with the Supreme Court.
We are a fishing community. Everything revolves around the fishery. And if you take away our fishery, then you take away not only our heritage and our way of life, but you kill our island.
So that is an ever evolving situation, which we will continue to bring you the latest on.
Absolutely. And now taking our attention to the outdoors, quite a toasty day out there for this late into fall now. You know, we're expecting temperatures a little bit more crisp out there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to a little bit of a downturn temperature-wise today. Even though we knew it was forecasted, it kind of took you by surprise a little bit after getting a break. But with a little bit more on what we can expect in the coming hours, let's take a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Thursday. Your first weather is brought to you by Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest for over 70 years. And okay, look what we did today. High temperatures back up in the low 70s. This is not normal, nor will it last much longer as a cold front's coming through right now. It's pushing off to the east of us currently. We are going to really cool off tonight and then really cool off tomorrow and into Saturday as well. But also, another cold front's on the way. That's this guy right there. That's going to bring us a chance for a few showers really late tonight, but more so throughout the day tomorrow. Our forecast then tonight, though, is increasing clouds with low temperatures down near 50. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter?
Alrighty, well, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, the Maine Department of Education is giving $1.6 million to schools across Maine for education innovation.
And the Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center Auxiliary pledges to raise $125,000 to support the purchase of a vehicle that will transport NICU patients. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Mainers took Jared Golden at his word, but he just broke his promise. Golden was a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill, even though he knew reckless spending would make inflation worse and everything more expensive. What's worse? Golden and Biden hiked taxes $1 billion on those making less than $50,000. Jared Golden, independent when convenient, liberal when it mattered. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Janet Mills's education department was teaching kindergartners radical transgender policies. Now it's pushing a curriculum telling students they're racist if they use certain terms. All lives matter, mass incarceration, calling the police on black people, all racist. Janet Mills closed our schools and our kids fell behind. And now she's pushing her radical education agenda. No more politics in schools, no more Janet Mills. The top funder of the Maine Republican Party is the Republican Governors Association.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home the Kubota VX Series for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $700.
Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine, and Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, And then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine. And we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. We turn now to southwestern Florida, where communities are still reeling from Hurricane Ian as the death toll reaches 126, with most of those people killed in Florida. President Biden visiting hard-hit areas on Wednesday. He and Governor Ron DeSantis putting political differences aside to discuss relief efforts. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Fort Myers.
More than a week after Hurricane Ian ravaged parts of southwestern Florida, crews still out in force.
They work 12 hours on and 12 hours off, but at the button, so they have no time off, no days off. We're not quitting. A matter of fact, we're full force ahead.
Thousands trying to pick up the pieces and move forward, so many without food, power, and water. This fire station in Fort Myers offering up free showers to those in need.
So we have tanker trucks coming in with water. We have these tents here that we were able to, usually use for hazmat calls, and we thought, let's set these up so that people can take a shower.
Volunteers also distributing hot meals.
For us, hearing the stories of people who haven't eaten in 3 days, people who are checking into the emergency room at the hospital for starvation because they haven't eaten since the storm hit.
Meanwhile, a big concern in hard-hit areas like Pine Island that there may still be people trapped. The island had been completely cut off, but rescuers were able to build a temporary bridge.
They were talking about evacuating everyone off the island. The folks didn't want it. They wanted to be in their homes. We did an emergency contract and we did it in 3 days. So now it's open and they're doing it more.
Wednesday, President Biden touring the devastation, pledging more federal assistance and meeting with Governor DeSantis, putting their differences aside to help the people in this region.
And officials are also looking into building a temporary bridge for Sanibel Island, but say because it's more complicated, it will take longer. Rena Roy, ABC News, Fort Myers, Florida.
Meanwhile, there are growing concerns over whether gas prices will start rising again after the OPEC Plus cartel announced it's cutting oil production by 2 million barrels a day. It's a move that could deal another blow to a global economy already struggling with high inflation. Here in the U.S., with the midterms weeks away and increased costs in many sectors top of mind for voters, the White House is pushing back. ABC's M. Wen has the latest from Washington.
New concerns that gas prices could soon spike again nationwide after OPEC Plus announced it's slashing oil production by 2 million barrels a day to drive up oil prices. The group of oil-producing nations led by Russia and Saudi Arabia planning the move for November, just in time for America's midterm elections.
It will affect, in the end, all of us by somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 30 cents a gallon.
It's bad timing for Democrats in Congress and the White House, where officials say it's a clear sign OPEC is siding with Russia amid the war in Ukraine, harming the interests of the U.S. and European nations dependent on Russian oil. President Biden now considering releasing at least 10 million barrels from the nation's strategic oil reserves next month, though it's unclear how much that might help.
Disappointment, and we're looking at what alternatives we may have.
Gas prices have already been creeping up, the national average at $3.87, a 4-cent increase overnight. In California, the average is at $6.42, one gas station topping $8 a gallon.
It's crazy.
The reason? Maintenance at refineries causing a supply shortage, as well as an increase in demand for fuel. OPEC's cuts in production also expected to drive up heating and holiday travel costs.
It just feels like you're just caught under a wave that's bigger than you have any control over.
Meanwhile, amid a Wall Street Journal report claiming the U.S. is preparing to scale down sanctions against Venezuela's authoritarian government in order to boost oil production, a National Security Council spokesperson telling ABC News there are no plans to change our sanctions policy without constructive steps from the Maduro regime. In a controversial trip to Saudi Arabia earlier this year, President Biden lobbied the Saudis to boost oil production, though he claimed today that that wasn't the point of the visit. OPEC's latest move shows how little influence the administration has over the Saudi regime. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
The Maine Department of Education is giving $1.6 million to schools across the state for education innovation. It's part of Maine's Rethinking Responsive Education Ventures, or REV. The primary goal of REV is generating innovative remote learning models that provide equitable, high-quality remote learning access to all students. It's broken up into the categories of extended learning, multiple pathways, online learning, and outdoor education. Old Town High School is among the 12 winners announced today.
We're now able to tailor a pathway for our students to succeed outside the traditional walls of our schools. The Coyote Online Opportunity students will also have access to all co-curricular activities at the school to continue their passions outside the traditional academic courses.
Well, to date, 39 school districts across the state have been awarded REV funding since the initiative was launched last year.
An effort is underway to get a new neonatal transport ambulance for the youngest patients in our area. The Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center Auxiliary has pledged to raise $125,000 to support the purchase of the special vehicle affectionately called the Miracle 2.
It's a replacement for Miracle 1 that is no longer in service because of the age, really.
Specialized transport ambulances are designed to be a mobile NICU with ventilators, oxygen, and more. They're also designed to give a smooth ride over rough roads so the babies can get the best outcomes possible.
Just in the NICU alone, we transport in over 150 babies from the northern and eastern two-thirds of Maine who are premature and or sick for NICU care.
The auxiliary is holding a number of fundraisers. Their annual kitchen tour kicks off on November 5th in a virtual format. You can find more information by calling 973-5055. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, a group of curators and historians travels to grave sites across the state of Maine, honoring those who played a role in the Boston Tea Party.
And in sports, Herman girls soccer is on a mission, looking to make their third state championship game in 4 years. We'll have that story right after the break.
I have a great job. I get up early, head on out, and I get to work. I install solar panels. They power our homes and give me a great paycheck. When Paul LePage was governor, he opposed projects like this, putting Maine last for solar jobs in New England. He even said that climate change wasn't a threat to Maine. Look, we need more of these jobs, and that won't happen if we go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Find meaningful work in direct care, like Cedric, who worked as a direct support professional for individuals with developmental disabilities in residential care.
It's been a very rewarding process in many ways. I never set out to be called a hero DSP or direct support provider. I set out every day to do heroic actions for these members we are trusted to care for. If you see peace, if you see a grin, if you see a smile, that's success.
Learn more about compassionate careers through caringforme.org.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors, but the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare, and he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carol Harper and Associates today.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the high school scene here. After a disappointing end to last season, the Herman Hawks are picking up right where they left off, starting the year 9-0 and outscoring opponents 55-5 so far this fall.
Our slogan this year is unfinished business, and we really want to get back there and finally bring a gold ball to Herman.
The Herman Hawks are on a mission.
It's just an expectation that we have.
Yeah, I really want to win.
We want to win every game that we play. We try to win every game that we play.
After their perfect season ended with a state championship loss in 2021, the Hawks are back to where they left off, starting the season 9-0.
It feels really good, and it's a lot of fun to play like that. And when we play our game and don't panic, it really helps us. We've all worked together in soccer for a long time, and having that chemistry, I think, helps a lot.
From last year, the Hawks lost 10 seniors, including the program's all-time scoring leader, Sydney Gallup, but they haven't missed a beat.
Last year, we were very strong. We lost some key players, but these girls have stepped right in. We have 2 freshmen that have stepped up that we knew that would be impact players, but I don't think we knew that they would be this impactful.
At first we thought it was going to be a little challenging, but we have a lot of freshmen that came up that have really filled in those big shoes.
One of those freshmen, Madison Stewart, has tallied 13 goals and 9 assists already to start her high school career.
It's been crazy. I didn't think I'd make such an impact on the team, but I've definitely had some good games.
Definitely during summer season, I got close with some of the seniors, and they have really helped me get my goals.
I think her first game she played, she scored a hat trick. And it's like, all right, Madison's going to be all right.
They also have a senior class of 8 girls who have already been to 2 gold ball games.
The girls, especially this senior class, they have not lost a game except for a state championship game. So that speaks volumes to their talent, but also their hard work.
Including Reed, who's nearing her 100th goal. But that's not her main focus every time she laces up the cleats.
It's always there in my mind, but it's more of a team thing for me. If I get there, then great, but I think the championship, a state championship, is more of the focus.
Looking forward to see what they can do in the postseason. That's coming up in a couple weeks. Let's move on now. Let's check in with the Patriots. It has been quite an interesting week as far as the quarterback situation goes. The Lions are coming to Gillette on Sunday, a matchup of 2 1-3, kind of banged up teams. For New England, they have a new quarterback in the room. It's Garrett Gilbert, who was out throwing at practice Wednesday. No Brian Hoyer, though. They put him on the IR, out with a head injury still from last Sunday. And Mac Jones was out there, but limited, still nursing that high ankle sprain. So that brings us to Bailey Zappi, who was very impressive in place of Hoyer last Sunday. And if nothing changes with Jones, it looks like the rookie will be getting his first career start this week.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a little bit more comfortability with it, but like I said, I'm going to lean on my teammates a lot. They helped me a lot at the Packers, and, I'm going to lean on them even more, this upcoming game or whatever it is. And, I'm really excited for just going to practice every day and getting better.
I was going to go into great depth about the quarterback situation, but since you've got another question about the practice location, let's go to that.
A little joke from Belichick there. I love to see that. That is all the time we have for sports. Here is Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, thank you. Happy Thursday. It's amazing out there. Now the colors are changing. Temperatures back in the 70s today, but it's not going to last much longer as we have somewhat cooler temperatures on the way. In fact, look at these highs today. 73 here in Bangor, 71 Bar Harbor. We'll take it. A very nice day, and it was sunny for a while, too. Now, tomorrow is going to be a bit cooler with some rain showers across the area as an area of low pressure is on the way, along with another cold front. The wind is already shifting out of the west right now. That's that's that cold front. The first one out of the west around 3 to 5 miles per hour. This will actually go calm for a couple hours tonight. That could give us some locally dense fog for a couple hours tonight. The bigger picture, though, is going to start dropping temperatures as well. After lows tonight down near 50, tomorrow we're going to struggle to make it to 60. Then even cooler temperatures are on the way for us on Saturday and Sunday. If you're going to the games tomorrow night, look for a couple sprinkles across the region with game time temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s across our area. Okay, so for today, lots going on, right? So the clouds basically get out of here pretty earlier today. Then the sun came out. Beautiful, right? Hardly a breeze out there. The wind was calm for a couple hours, and the sun was out as well. That made things feel warm with temperatures in the 70s. But tomorrow, again, cloud cover is on the way. That's courtesy of this system right there. That's a cold front, and a pretty strong one, too. It's going to shift our winds more out of the north tomorrow and bring us some cooler temperatures at that. There's just a lot going on over here currently, so look for some rain showers off and on throughout the day tomorrow, starting around sunrise tomorrow morning and lingering through about this time tomorrow night. Let's walk you through it. So tonight, okay, looking at increasing clouds. By tomorrow morning, looking at mostly cloudy skies. Here's about 6:30 or so. And then by tomorrow midday, we're talking about some light showers across the area. Nothing heavy with this. Here's the main front coming through tomorrow evening. That's going to go through pretty quickly. Turn off the faucet tomorrow night. Bring in some cooler, drier air for us on Sunday. But overall, kind of a wet and rainy day off and on throughout the day tomorrow until much better weather gets in here on Sunday. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low temperatures down near 51. There could be some dense fog in there after midnight as well, as the wind will go calm for several hours tonight. For tomorrow, okay, so here we go. Lots of clouds across the area. Afternoon rain showers are looking more and more likely. High temperatures back up in the 60s, but again, as a cold front is going to come through then and drop temperatures throughout the afternoon. On a gusty south wind early, turning out of the west-northwest throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story. So tomorrow back up in the 60s, but not so much for Saturday and Sunday. Here we go. Mostly sunny Saturday. High temperatures near 54. Sunday 57, lots of sunshine. Partly cloudy Monday, so you see the trend here, right? Tomorrow's the warm day, then it gets much cooler with temperatures in the 50s over the weekend.
And a nice, cool and sunny weekend coming our way. Love to see it.
Really looking forward to that. All right, still more to come after the break, so stay with us.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating. 990-2200.
Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
However you spend your day, spend it in style. At Label Shopper, you'll find designer brands for 30 to 70% less than department stores. With prices this low, you can grab all your favorite styles. Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
Ignore the lies about Jared Golden. I served with Jared in the Marines for almost 4 years, including tours in one of the toughest combat zones in the world, the Afghan-Pakistani border. If I was in a fight, I wanted Jared with me. His courage, loyalty, and focus on the mission earned him the respect and confidence of his peers. Take it from me, I know you can trust Jared to have your back in Congress.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, plus save up to $1,100.
We're no football players, but we do know a lot about Medicare.
So why call some out-of-state 800 number
when help is right here at home?
Listen to what these people have to say. My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
Oh, by the way,
we represent most Medicare health plans.
Tonight, when most things in your life and your home are swept away, the trauma after the storm, plus the cut in oil output, how soon and how high could gas prices go? More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Well, a group of curators and historians is traveling to grave sites around the state of Maine, honoring those who played a role in the Boston Tea Party. On Wednesday, the group visited Fairview Cemetery in Warren to honor Patriot Benjamin Burton. According to the Boston Tea Party Museum, Burton was one of the men who led the meeting at the Old South Meeting House before the tea protest actually began. A commemorative marker portraying the historic event was placed at his grave.
Joining this party that boarded the tea ships, he labored with all of his might in throwing the tea into the water. It being about low tide, the tea rested on the bottom, and when the tide rose, it floated and was lodged by the surf along the shore.
According to the museum, Burton served as a lieutenant in the Continental Army in 1776 and was later promoted to a captain in 1777. In 78, Burton was held prisoner for 3 months, and when he escaped, he was given the rank of lieutenant colonel in a Boston militia.
Really cool look back at a very historic moment there.
Yeah.
And cool to see them honoring the Mainers who
It's so
were
interesting
part
to
of
hear
that.
the actual names of the people involved.
It really is.
All right, folks, good night.
Good night.